Hey guys, know anything about the Olympics?
Wait, like the upcoming Olympics?
Or in
Yeah.
general, like the concept of the Olympics.
Well, I thought about entering the Paralympics, but, that didn't work out so good.
Yeah, you got that confused with paralegal work.
True, true.
Can see the difficulty there.
See, this is going to go
Brandon-
nowhere good real quick. We need to go. No, so to answer your question, go back. No, I don't know anything about the Olympics.
We don't know anything. We know so little that Brandon wanted to enter the Paralympics, but he wasn't sure how that would work. He was like, they're 4 years apart. How am I going to compete in 2 different Olympics? That was terrible.
So if I could,
Is that like a Greek prefix joke?
It's a pair of Olympics.
Oh, wow.
All right. On that note, I am Jamie, and this is We Don't Know Anything. And this week, I'll say this week. Right now, we're on a quasi-weekly schedule. We don't know anything about the Olympics, and we'll admit that it's shameless pandering because the 2016 opening ceremony is this week. So, joining us in this endeavor are Brandon from sunny St. Pete.
The sun has gone down, but it has not gone down in our hearts. Yes, St. Petersburg, I don't know anything at all, and I just make up things. So,
Including beautiful poetry.
it's what it's about. It's all about the imagery. It's like in your head and stay there, don't leave.
Sounds like rhythmic gymnastics.
And
y'all two are married. I don't know if I can make gymnastics jokes. So
I'm not real sure what the direct connection is between those two statements, but okay. Man, I don't. You guys walk on 2 legs, so I don't know if I can make basketball jokes.
Well, no, like making jokes about the
No,
Olympics is kind of funny when but never mind.
This is a family podcast.
Right. On that note, whatever note that is, joining us from where the sun hasn't gone down yet in Southern California, Orange County, is Cody.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, I can confirm that the sun is still up. It's still bright and sunny out here. Yeah, I don't know what's up with you guys. Because the rotation of the Earth, Anyway.
That's another thing we don't know about. Science, we could do that.
One podcast, science. It wouldn't be about astrophysics. We don't know anything about science. We'll cover it all.
Yeah. So
No, let's do astrophysics so we can do Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Right. Yeah.
Impressions.
I'll have to work on that impression. That'd be good.
All I really know about astrophysics I learned from the movie Contact. So,
Not even Armageddon? Come on.
Listening to Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster was just easier for me, because I was growing up then. And then Armageddon, it made me have the feels, and Contact was more about, engendering a love of all space travel and things of this nature. And Armageddon was really about selling Aerosmith records. So,
hey, if it works. But if you're going to go McConaughey and learn about astrophysics, you might as well be Interstellar, and you just go with the completely theoretical and the wormholes. Just go both feet in.
Sure. Interstellar is. I remember I saw Interstellar at one of these cafe bistro things. Do you guys know what these are?
No.
It's essentially
I know what those 2 words
mean.
Yeah.
I understand the concept of that.
Okay, so essentially what it is it's fine dining. And they do that while you're watching the movie. You order before the movie, and then as the previews are going, they're bringing you dessert and coffee and stuff like that. And you're in these big, nice, comfy chairs.
Okay, yeah. We've got something like that out here. We call it Sinopolis.
Okay.
Yeah, same idea. You can press a little button, and they'll bring you food or drinks and stuff to your super nice leather recliner.
You know who's probably never been to those? Olympians.
Yeah, because that would require you eating nice food that tastes good and isn't, stripped of all enjoyment.
Doesn't Michael Phelps eat 5,000 calories a meal or something during training?
I
Like, I
remember
feel like he could go there and just like have a snack, and then the snack would be the entire dessert bar, and then he'd just swim it all off the next day.
Oh, well, we're not going to make it through discussing Michael Phelps and his caloric intake without recognizing yet another story from our illustrious college career.
I was hoping you were going to go here.
another Brandon friend of ours who looked up. I think it just came across. It was probably like one of the years that Phelps was huge, and he looked up like the. Yeah, it was 2008, and he looked up, there was a story about the caloric intake that Michael Phelps does when he's training, and
it was approximately like 10,000 calories.
Right.
Yeah, which we found out to be like 100 bananas.
Yeah, so if you were going to isolate like one thing, it would be bananas, because bananas are pretty easy. It's, a medium-sized banana is roughly 100 calories. That's a good round number, but so his goal was to try to. Did he really try to do it in a day? I can't remember.
Yeah, no, he got all these bananas, and he had some in his book bag so that when he went to school, and I want to say he Sharpied like the bananas, so they had like
Numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so
I can totally see that.
So so he starts doing this, and Jamie, take it away. I stole the story.
No, I mean, there's not really a whole lot further you can go with it. He tried to eat Michael Phelps's caloric intake in bananas, and I don't believe it went well.
Yeah, I think he. See, there's a couple Brandon stories, and there's one where he ended up like. This is not me, Brandon. This is another Brandon. I know, confusing.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure. Right. No, because there's another story where Brandon passed out while giving blood and wet himself, and I don't know if that was caused by the banana issue, like the sodium, but I think he just got sick. And what was funny is he got sick, threw up, couldn't finish. I think this is what happened. So our buddy Dan was in med school at the time. And so Dan, they started talking about vitamin toxicity and like sodium and like all that kind of stuff. And so Dan goes up to him after class. And he's like, "So I was just wondering, what if you were to have a patient that consumed a lot of bananas, like would you be concerned about the toxicity with the sodium that would be in the banana?" She's like, "No, I mean, they would have to eat something crazy, like 100 bananas." So,
moral of the story is, don't just eat 100 bananas.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was just sitting here looking up high potassium, because I think I remember that being part of what made him claim. I think potassium is kind of like the classical, like, oh, you eat bananas because they got potassium in them. But like the symptoms of high potassium include fatigue or weakness, a feeling of numbness or tingling, nausea or vomiting, problems breathing, or heart palpitations. Like, yeah, I feel like he just got edgy as the day went on, and it was like, yeah, this isn't gonna go. This isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
So yes,
the same guy. Speaking of other Olympic sports, who came in when the doctor stitched up my eyebrow I'd split open in rugby practice, and just made his classic Brandon noises of, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, as the doctor proceeded to explain exactly how he was tying the stitch in my eyebrow the whole time.
Wait, Brandon was there for that?
Yeah.
Cody was at the like urgent care or ER for like 8.5 hours. A lot of people were there during that.
Yeah, I got a lot of people that came by and visited me while I sat in the emergency room waiting room. I didn't have any sort of concussion syndrome, so it was literally just bleeding from my face. Which apparently wasn't as bad of an emergency as I tried to make it out to be.
Were you at the infirmary?
No, I went to the hospital down the road from our apartment.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, because if you were at the infirmary, I would think you would come back with like a second eye or missing a leg, because it was kind of like
a lot of Gatorade.
Yes.
Here's some condoms and Gatorade. You're good.
The infirmary. You should probably go see a real doctor. Like that would have been the suggestion.
Well, okay, so
Okay.
background when we were at the University of Florida, I took a year after I graduated before I went to law school and worked at the right outside the emergency room at the brand new emergency room at Shands, and I was standing out there, and I can't tell you the number of times that somebody came out of the emergency room to have a cigarette or something like that, and they were telling me about either a friend or whoever. It's like, yeah, he went to the infirmary and they told him this and it just didn't get better, so we ended up coming to the emergency room and they told us, no, that was completely wrong. That happened on more than a few occasions. So
Yeah.
I love that they tried, but I've heard more crazy stories about the infirmary than I've heard about insane asylums. So it's a wonderful place. I'm sure it's gotten better.
Sure, yeah. That's a thing that probably happened. Yeah, that seems logical.
Yeah.
For no reason. And it's
Right.
gotten better.
Right.
Because
Because
Look.
that's what things do when not,
Hey.
watched.
something's not right. Here's some Gatorade and a blanket, and I hope you feel better.
All right, so this makes for a pretty natural transition back into the Olympics and not alter ego Brandon stories, which is that there is some health concerns related to this year's Olympics that Brazil seems to not know anything about either.
Yeah, ironically enough, we don't know anything about the Olympics, and apologies to Brazil, neither do they.
Which some of it is laughable just because you talk about countries getting their act together and putting in their bid and getting getting an Olympics and then putting on a good show and then everybody leaves and there's this huge crash.
You mean bribing them, right?
Right,
Like
right.
by putting together a presentation, you mean bribing.
Getting Sepp Blatter as a consultant in how to but like
dare
Beijing,
you.
Beijing had this issue with these huge stadiums that they built that they didn't have a use for once it was gone. Rio, by all accounts, it's like, yeah, they shouldn't have gotten it, and you're leading up to when everyone should be excited about it, and that's the best I can describe it.
All joking aside, there's some serious issues going on in Brazil that, I don't know, they tried to, paper over, pay no attention to the favelas that exist right outside of our city and all the abject poverty and issues that we have, where all this billions of dollars we spent on the Olympics and didn't really succeed on building everything like we should, and it didn't go towards, I don't know, all these people living in abject poverty. Hooray!
Yeah, it's real easy for us to sit here and make jokes, but there really are some seriously backward things there still.
Yeah,
including the Zika virus, which admittedly isn't their fault, but it's just piling on.
Because as if nothing else, as if there's not enough going wrong.
Yeah, you have a country that's just ill prepared to host it, financially in trouble. I think has an interim prime minister right now. And on top of that, let's just add a sort of mysterious virus that affects pregnancy and babies in utero, and in a lot of ways we don't understand yet. It's perfect.
Well, and so, what happened with the Russian team? Do we know anything about that?
I do know.
Are they all banned, or who's not banned?
Anyone that hasn't been accused of doping can still go to the Olympics.
Which is a bright and cheery way to send off your federation.
Yeah. Anyone that has had any sort of allegations relating to doping and is Russian is nah, bye-bye, not coming. So
what percentage of the Russian, delegation to the Olympics is, cut?
I don't know. I think they're still... Are they... I don't know exactly how it works, which lends to the rest of the podcast.
You'll fit in fine here.
Yeah, I think they're still sending the same number of people, it's just like, oh yeah, we got to send alternates 5, 6, and 7 because they haven't been accused of anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, and I think their whole track and field is banned. I think that was the case. Like it was like, all y'all dirty, we're just not even doing it.
So they got the Ole Miss treatment, or at least what we're hoping for Ole Miss.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, and how many like amateurs who are like right on the fringe of getting into the Olympics do you think are like phoning in allegations like, oh yes, I heard that Boris I saw him with a needle. I don't know what was in it.
Like, I swear, I saw Oksana take the deer antler spray.
Deer antler spray. Amen, Ray Lewis.
All right.
Vladimir has the andro. Get it away from me.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So as if like I don't know, like the Zika virus health concerns aren't as bad. Speaking of I don't know obscure Olympic sports, sailing sounds like fun. You're out on the water, except for I don't know all the crap that's in that water, like refrigerators and literal crap.
I was going to say, you don't even mean figuratively, like actual human feces floating around.
But yeah. Wait a minute, wouldn't this be awesome though? Because Brazil, could they go up like the Amazon and like have like piranhas? Like imagine having like sailing competitions with piranhas. That would be some seriously metal stuff. Like I think that would be great. It's like, oh no, the Portuguese are over. Oh my gosh, there's piranhas.
See, when you started into that, I thought you were talking about like somebody bids on it and you don't realize like, oh wait, they have piranhas in the water. No, you're talking about like actually willfully adding piranhas as like a wrinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like hey, here's an enclosed kayak course that you're gonna go on, but we added some crocodiles. Best of luck.
Yeah, it's kind of like the game makers from Hunger Games. It's just like we need this year when it's in when it was in Sochi or whatever, they should have had like abominable snowmen and things of this nature. And then just like out of nowhere, a wampa comes up and takes a swipe at a cross-country skier. I mean, they need to have these types of things.
What sport do you think it would be like the hardest and or the funniest to disrupt that way? Like I could see like fencing. You have these guys in these silly outfits with like a pokey little sword that doesn't do anything. And you could add like an actual samurai, and like you two are trying to get points like poking each other with swords that don't do anything while this guy's swinging at your head with an actual broadsword.
Yeah,
that would be intense.
I feel like the abominable snowman route with do you guys know about the biathlon? It's one of my favorite strange sports in the Olympics. It's Winter Olympics.
Okay.
And so biathlon, it's two sports combined, and those sports would be cross-country skiing and sharpshooting.
That makes sense.
You put on your cross-country skis, you ski to a spot, you take off your fancy weird air rifle thing, and you shoot some targets, and then you ski some more and like wash, rinse, repeat.
Wait, I think this was from a James Bond movie.
Right? Yeah. Is it Thunderball? Is that the one? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I threw out a random James Bond movie. But yeah, the beginning of a James Bond movie is an Olympic sport. It's been around since the beginning of the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Basically, how good would you be in fighting in the Alps?
Right. If you
would
were
you be successfully able to invade Switzerland?
Yeah, it's this is the Blitzkrieg practice. We are going to ski and then we are going to shoot.
Yeah, that's literally like, oh, wintertime military combat, aka the biathlon. That's an Olympic sport. You get a gold medal for it if you're really good at it.
Could you imagine the Russian biathlete getting banned because he was doping? Like, I understand, like, cross-country skiing takes physical effort, but I feel like the best thing I could do to dope for that is, like, don't get bored in between shooting stuff. Like,
don't get distracted by the pretty scenery as you're skiing.
Right.
You know what they should do is instead of banning the Russian team from competing, they should just make them compete in every single event in Adidas tracksuits. Like that would be the best.
Or no. They just make them compete in different events. Like they take a boxer and make him dive.
I feel like that could have, of all, like, throwing someone into diving that doesn't know what they're doing. Here, jump off this, like, 15-meter high in the air diving board. Like, the most possibility for just horrible things to happen.
I've always heard that, like, with any of the individual sports, and particularly, like, track and field works really well for this. People have said, like, you really should just have, like, sort of like a Price is Right, like, come on down, like, some regular Joe out of the stands just to show you, like, how much better than you these athletes are. Because could you imagine, like 110-meter hurdles and some, like, 230 pound, like, 5'10" guy is like,
So, okay, when you go over the hurdle, do you go, like, straight up and over, like, straight forward, or do you, like, throw your leg to the side, or how does that work?
See, your phrasing of your question insinuates that I have gone over the hurdle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking as someone who doesn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, you just need to just yell parkour as you, like, run through them all. Parkour!
Yeah. Your coach is sitting over there like, it's really not fastest to front flip over all of them.
Parkour, that's okay. Yeah.
It's like, I feel like I would want to go around the side the whole time, because there's no way I'm getting up and over. Like, that just seems crazy.
Oh, and have you ever seen the video? I forget. I don't know if it was, I know the guy who did it was Asian. I don't know if the whole field was Asian, but, like, there's this video of this guy doing hurdles, and he's trying to keep up with it in the beginning, and then finally reaches a point where he's just hit, like, 3 or 4 in a row, and he finishes out the rest of it just sprinting and punching the hurdles out of his way. And when he finishes, he pumps his fist in the air like, yes, I did it.
I mean, I'm not going to hate, because I feel like I would do the same thing. That's I would get so frustrated. It's like, all right, you know what? I don't care. You're not going to mock me.
Mama told me I could, and I did.
That's right.
Give me my medal.
I will not be embarrassed. I'm going to be on a TV show somewhere, even if it's not with a gold medal.
If I'm going to be embarrassed, it will be in a manner of my choosing.
On a date and time of my choosing to be embarrassed. And I choose now.
Right.
Speaking of events where you would be embarrassed by a method of your choosing.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Natural segue.
Natural segue to the pentathlon.
So that's like 5 things, right?
Yeah, 5 events. And here they are, because you couldn't pick a more eclectic selection of sports.
Okay. This is a summer sport, right?
Yeah, it's a summer sport, and it's comprising pistol shooting. We have an obsession with shooting, apparently. Like, behold the violence inherent in the system in the Olympics. And then the fencing. So now we're sword fighting and pistol shooting. So this is, like, so far, piratey things.
This still sounds like James Bond's. Like, all right, I'm going to shoot him. All right, I'm out of bullets. Grab the sword. Okay, what's next?
Swimming. I'm telling you, piratey things. Jack Sparrow would be really good at this event. Horse riding.
Okay.
And running. Why? What?
I feel like this should go the other way. It's like, you should run out of I think you should be the most tired when you have the most dangerous thing in your hand. So it's like shooting should be last.
You start like horse riding, and then you swim and run, and then you have to fence someone. Like, you have to fight with someone. It's
right.
Like, really, you want to knock out those first 3 things as fast as possible, so that, like, you get to catch your breath before the next person shows up that you have to fight.
Right. Okay, so now, do they stop in between, or is it like, all right, you have to shoot and, like, everybody's, like, on a time, or the shooting and the fencing, like, untimed?
I'm so confused. I have no idea. I'm just looking at the picture that goes along with it, and it's a line of competitors standing holding. They look practically like paintball guns, but I'm assuming they shoot real weaponry. Standing behind these I don't know, line of tables, like a shooting range, outdoor shooting range. But like every competitor has like a Dell laptop open in front of them.
Wait, for what?
I have no idea. There's no explanation. It's just a picture.
You know who would know something about this?
Placement.
Is we have a friend who may or may not have been in a service academy, who may or may not have won a national championship in the pistol, and I think he still has his target pistol. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I think I do. This is really cagey.
This is no, Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did not know he's like. It took me a while to find out that like he was like a national champion in like pistol, and so I bet he probably knows about like stuff like this because we don't know anything. Like,
so you're telling me that Tucker could explain to me what happens in the 25-meter rapid-fire pistol competition?
I mean, if any of us is gonna know,
it's gonna be him.
Yeah, I'd like to believe. So
I just like how all these weaponry basically look like guns you would find in Destiny.
Wait, what's
like
Destiny?
The BioWare MMO shooting game for the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
All science fiction setup. Like literally, the guns that these people are using look like it's like, oh, you just got this loot.
Is it like super futuristic looking? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Strange.
Then
again, this guy that is competing in shooting has what can only be described as small cardboard blinders tucked into the rim of a chopped up visor that he's wearing.
So they're like mini horse blinders for people?
Yeah, except that he like ghetto rigged it.
Yeah.
Like,
it looks like he forgot to clip the tag off when he bought this visor at the visor store.
he just took two pieces of cardboard that said London Olympics 2012 and like shoved them into this visor that he stomped on because he got mad at missing a shot.
Okay, you know what it looks like? They kind of look like the little cards you would stick in the back wheel of your bike so that it would sound like a motorcycle. You put them in his visor. And let's talk about the visor for a second. This picture, which if can we throw that up on our Twitter account in case people like look, just so we can like throw up that link?
Yeah. Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that would be the www.olympic.org/shooting is the website from which we're getting this picture.
Pretty straightforward. If you're listening and don't have our Twitter handle, you can just go.
Yeah, this guy. I mean, this guy is probably serious. He could probably like kill all of us with his whatever kind of gun this is. But I mean, that visor. And speaking of visors, I'm glad to have Steve Spurrier back at Florida. But that's beside the point.
Welcome back, Steve Spurrier, to the University of Florida.
Oh man, having the old ball coaches back. Imagine him like commentating on the Olympic events. That would...
Yeah, he's sitting up there in the booth for the pentathlon. He's like, well, yeah. I guess they're done riding the horses now, and I guess they're gonna do some shooting. But hopefully they're aimed the other way, not gonna shoot the horses, because that'd be unfortunate.
Well.
Wow, there's shooting, there's horses, and white people aren't doing too good. I guess that's kind of like Tennessee, you know. So I mean, he would talk trash about SEC schools no matter what the sport was, no matter even if they were like Americans competing, he would still talk trash. And that's why I love him. Oh.
Yeah. No, I think my favorite comment of his, which I can't think of what would be an Olympic parallel of it, which is unfortunate, was I think it was Auburn. Auburn had a library burned down or something when he was coach at, I think it was when he was still at Florida. And he said, that was a shame, most of the books weren't even colored in yet.
It's one of my favorites.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the thing is it just comes so natural. That's just like, I swear, him and Ric Flair have to do diss tracks together because it would just be the best. Like, just hearing them like talk noise about like just about anything, even if it was me. You know, if they're just sitting there mocking me all day, I'd pay them for the honor.
Oh, I mean, well, and that's what I thought was kind of funny, is him being brought on as like a ambassador / consultant. It's like that means like he's officially associated with the school, but if he says enough stuff, it's like, oh yeah, that's crazy, Grandpa. Don't listen to him.
Old Steve. Steve. He just says all the craziest things, man.
You know, they're like
mad at him.
Coach Max, like, oh, you found him on the visitor sideline peeing in the Gatorade cups. I'm sorry. You know, Spurrier's over there like, hey, diplomatic immunity. I'm an ambassador. Can't do anything.
See, here's the thing is, okay, I think of Steve Spurrier a lot as kind of like the Gators, like Michael Jordan, and let me explain why. It seems like every couple weeks there's a new story out about how like Michael Jordan is so competitive that he is like not fun to deal with. Like, I remember hearing this story about how I think it was Pippen. Jordan found out that during the game they would have these big screens, and they would have the kind of the races among different like mascots and stuff during the game, and they would change game to game. Well, Jordan found out that they would show the video that they were going to play that night before the game and during practice, and so he would see it and see who was going to win, and he started betting Pippen before every single game who would win, and it went on for the whole season. Just like the man had to win. And so
yeah, but that's
just Michael. That's just Michael.
Unrepentant gambler as well.
Well, see,
I know how to win every time.
And see, here's the thing: is like I feel like the more stuff I hear about how Michael was just kind of a jerk to people, but everyone still loves him. And it's just like, oh man, that's just Michael. I feel like that's the way with Spurrier. Is like the more I hear of like ridiculous things, it's like it's Spurrier. Just love me more. But
speaking of Michael. Did y'all see the video of him disappointing the children at one of his camps?
I saw a link to it, and I didn't click on it.
Wait, is that the one where he was gonna buy them all shoes if he missed one, and he decided to drain all of them?
Yeah. If I missed a shot or something, if I missed a certain number, I missed 3 shots. I think he had to miss 3 shots. He'd buy all these kids at his camp shoes. He makes every single dang one. Like, not even gonna play. Like, makes every single shot. Like, kids. Like,
was that at Chris Paul's camp?
I don't know. Like, Chris Paul was there. He was there, and then
Derek Fisher, I think, because that makes sense.
Yeah, well, see, I put him in the same conversation. Right. He's got 5 rings, man.
I heard Bomani Jones talking about this thing today, and he had a great point. He was like, "Look," and it's like I think there was another stipulation. It's like if Chris Paul sunk every one, sunk
Chris
5
Paul
shots.
Had to make every shot. Did like around the world from the 3-point line, high school 3-point line. So like mid-range jumper.
Right.
For the NBA, like he had to make all 5 of those shots, and he missed one of them.
Yeah, it's like
Jordan had to miss 3 shots, and then Derek Fisher had like missed a free throw. Like of all the shots, he had like 4 or 5 shots, and he missed the free throw to get the kids free shoes.
It's like Bomani was saying. It's like he's like that last shot that he missed. He's like Jordan just willed that. It's like of course he should drink every shot. It's like Jordan just was like you ain't gonna make this. You ain't gonna make it. But that's how I feel about the visored one. Is like every story I hear about something silly he did or something like that is just like, that's our guy.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is, Steve Spurrier
just deciding. Sorry, go ahead, Cody.
Well, he's self-deprecating while also making fun of you. He's well, we weren't very good. I don't know how we came out of that game with a win against Tennessee. I mean, we just didn't play well at all. We were just terrible. We were trash. Like all the while, like he's making fun of his own team, but like at the same time, it's like, but we still won. Well, I had no idea how we got out of there with 3 touchdown victory. I don't know how we beat them by 21 points. Like, well,
see, I remember See, Spurrier has been subtweeting before tweeting like really was a thing. Like I remember when Lane Kiffin was at Tennessee many moons ago. Y'all remember when Kiffin started talking trash about how he was going to enjoy singing Rocky Top in the swamp and all that kind of stuff?
That was his initial press conference.
Yeah, and
that was that before or after he gave his middle child his son the middle name Knox?
Yeah, and then he changed it to Troy when he went to USC. What does he call him now? Bear? Like
Bear, definitely Bear. The middle name is 100%
so
Bear.
Why do you have 3 middle names? Well, my father writes checks that my middle name has to cash. So, but no. So Spurrier said something. It was something along the lines of when he was talking and all that. Like I think Florida had won a bunch of games against South Carolina, and Spurrier's just like talking. Somebody asked him about Kiffin, and I think it's before Kiffin won really any games. And of course, Spurrier has his illustrious career in the SEC, and Spurrier just looks at the camera and says, I just don't think I've won enough games to talk enough trash. Just like, beautiful little subtweet, my friend. I appreciate that. So good. So glad he's back in the orange and blue. Makes me really happy.
Yeah. So this guy has a weird visor on in this picture, right?
Yeah. So okay, how many Gators do we have in the Olympics?
Ryan Lochte, go Gator.
Go Gator. Speaking of go Gator, she's indicted now, right?
I saw that as well. Yes.
So,
no, I did not know that. So I'm not up to date with my Florida
politics. No, okay. So for those of you
use the term loosely.
For those of you who may not be aware, after the 2008 championship, I believe it was 2006, 2008. I can't remember.
Court Urban Meyer.
Yeah, Corinne Brown, who represents parts of Jacksonville, and it's like a really gerrymandered district. She represented a bunch, and so she had gotten a graduate degree from the University of Florida. So I believe it's on the U.S. House floor. She's wearing her Gator garb, and she's like, so it's like what? It's like I've heard the Gators sing this one song. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5.
Them Gators
don't take no jive.
And I remember being at Florida at the time and thinking, no one says that.
I've never heard that.
Never heard that.
Well,
I look that up. You just made that
like not only was I attending Florida at the time, I grew up in a Gator household. Both of my parents are proud Gator alumnuses. Like,
alumni.
Never once. No, I like the word alumnuses better.
Okay.
I don't know.
I knew we were going to get blown up. We're going to get blown up by someone from Florida State. They don't even know how to say alumni.
Yeah, I know how to say alumni. Yeah, well,
no,
that's okay.
It's a personal choice. Respect us. We self-identify with alumnuses.
I'm an alumnus. You're an alumnus. That makes us alumnuses. It's just logic.
Okay.
Brian Regan would agree.
I completely interrupted your train of thought. Continue.
But yeah. Anyway, no. Like my parents grew up. Like I grew up in a Gator household. Like I was conceived in Gainesville as my parents were finishing law school. Like I
think that's getting into never mind.
As orange and blue as it can get. And at no time ever have I ever heard outside of that speech 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Them Gators don't take no jive. Never once.
So
not once.
To be fair, though, they don't.
We don't.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No, we give ourselves our own jive because Florida fans just tend to be pessimistic after a while. So
well, that's because, as I've learned in the 28 years of being a Gator fan, the Gators will always break your heart.
Yeah.
That is simply a rule.
So, thank you, Cody Spencer Hall Davidson. Well, I just outed your last name. Whoops.
There goes that. James.
I'm just going to introduce myself by my full name next time. Just be done with it.
James.
True. You may or may not share the name of a former Gator player, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. Founding father or a founding member of the Supreme Court as well. Piece that one together, kiddo.
Yep. So there you go. Put those all together.
Which
still,
transitions.
The name really sounds like an Alabama quarterback.
Yeah, it's just generic enough.
John David Booty?
James Booty. Hey, I'm Jamie Booty. Welcome to We Don't Know Anything.
Jamie Booty sounds just like a 4-year-old came up with a stripper name. Oh, never mind. The family podcast. Sorry.
I was thinking it sounded like that the sketchy lawyers that are like, we'll get you out of your DUI. I'm Jamie Booty, attorney at law, and I've been doing this for 30 years. Don't let them tell you that, you know, I don't care how drunk you were. I'll get you off.
Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty.
Just to make you guilty.
Just dial
1-800.
Yeah. I was gonna say 1-800 like 6 booty. Don't dial 4 booty. Whatever you do.
Yeah, boy.
I've never had any experience dialing 4 booty. So never mind. Family podcast.
All right.
Anyway,
going
back to the Olympics.
Yeah. I want to even say, like, how did we get here from Steve Spurrier? But even that was, how did we get here from the Olympics? So.
Speaking of Olympics, though.
No, it was the visor. It was the visor.
I knew it.
Favorite obscure sport from the Olympics, summer version, is handball.
I was trying to find a way to get there because I know that Cody has some thoughts on handball.
Okay, so can you like concisely tell me what happens in handball? Because I thought that's kind of like stickball. That, you know, it's kind of like something that not many people play, and it's usually folks who didn't have enough money to play another sport.
Yeah, so apparently, here's kind of how it works. You have 2 teams, I think of like 6. There's a goal set up. Basically, it's a combination of soccer and basketball and dodgeball.
Because I'm looking at this, and this kind of looks like a lacrosse kind of thing.
Yeah, but
if you played lacrosse indoors,
right? Without a stick.
Yeah, but you can definitely, like, people jump into each other and like get shoved to the ground, and like the goalies are lanky and tall and are just flailing their arms about trying to kick this volleyball keep it from going into the goal. The United States is awful at it, which is like just disappointing.
I mean, because it's kind of like our 13th or 15th sport. Well, not even that. Probably about 20.
We're like the worst team in the, like, I think it's CONCACAF still or whatever. Probably not exactly CONCACAF, but whatever, the North American region. Like, no, we're trash.
I think Americans are more into like competitive hand holding than they are into handball.
But handball, basically, like to kind of follow the weird sportness of it, handball looks like what you would cook up if you had like a lock-in with middle school kids and you were out of ideas for what to have them do. You would just be like, you'd just be like, oh, go play indoor soccer, and they're like, we don't want to kick the ball. You're like, okay, fine, just pick it up and throw it, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like indoor soccer started, and they were like, nah, I ain't about kicking the ball. Like I can't. Like me, basically. Like if I was forced to play indoor soccer, with my absolute zero ability of kicking things with any sort of accuracy and ability to do so without falling over onto my face, would just pick it up and throw it. Like I'm tired of this sport, and just throw it, and then there's like, well, that's fun. Which, speaking of that, another segue is actually, that's ironically enough, picking up the ball and running with it is how new back to the Olympics for the first time since 1912 is the sport of rugby.
Is it sevens, or what are they?
Rugby sevens, yes, otherwise known as Olympic-style rugby, since they're trying to promote it in association with the Olympics and how things that are popular in the Olympics like get more play and people are more excited about it. But our high school alma mater, Brandon and I, Spruce Creek High, has
Skyhawks.
Way up to the Skyhawks, where we can build our dreams. I don't remember the rest of it.
Freehawks, choose we should be Hawks and build a vision supreme. Think, work hard, move fast, pitching, aim, retry, and we will win. Hey, Hawk. Never mind. Sorry. Alma mater.
Yeah.
Fight song, whatever that was.
Yeah, our proud high school alma mater is sending 2 Olympians with the chance of winning high medals in the Olympics this year. One, Ryan Lochte, also
True.
go Gator.
Go
And then
Gator.
one, Perry Baker, who, let me tell you, if you don't know anything about rugby sevens, Perry is a stud.
You are forgetting one very important person who is also going to be at the Olympics. It's from good old Spruce Creek High School.
I am?
Rexford Tullius.
No way.
Yeah.
Taco. Taco is his name in Spanish class.
Yeah, he is U.S. Virgin Islands. He is
Okay.
he's going to be swimming for them. So I saw that the other day. He posted a picture from Rio. Like, what? So
That's
yeah,
awesome. I know he just missed out on the Olympic trials for the U.S. in like 2012. I think it was.
yeah.
I know he made it to the.
See, okay, one thing I remember about Rex is, and I don't mean to out him as far as skipping class, but I remember skipping class. But I'm about to because he got his degree from the University of Florida as well, and did fine for himself and is doing great now. Is going to represent well at the Olympics. I remember skipping a class to go to Denny's, which was not far away from where our school was, and I remember him having like 12 pancakes like the day before a meet. He's like, "Dude, carb load." That was literally his response, and I just remember like I can't eat more than like 2 pancakes because they just like I get inside me and blow up. But he was like destroying these things, and that man Rex was always a great guy. So best of luck. So Perry Baker, that's Dallas Baker, the touchdown maker's brother, right?
Yeah, his younger brother tried out for the NFL, had a knee injury, so he didn't end up making it, knee or hamstring, something. So he ended up picking up rugby in Ohio and was like working as a pest control guy when he got the call from Mike Friday, who's the U.S. men's coach.
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey, we want you to come try out for the U.S. men's team," and he has been legit. It's been fun, like, because I mean I played football with him in high school, so it's just fun watching like all these international like New Zealand, Australian guys like, "Oh, Perry Baker, the speedster, he's out in space. Oh, there he goes, try time, Perry Baker, go USA!" Like just I don't know, random,
That's
New
great.
Zealand All Black, like guys that were doing the haka and raising the Webb Ellis Rugby World Championship Cup are just like jaw gaping at this guy that I was like, yeah, I remember him in high school. Like he was legit.
Yeah.
Like basically, like we were a triple option team, but he was our wide receiver. And so basically, I mean, we didn't call it that, but the play was kind of just Perry, run straight, and we'll throw the ball to you, and then you're gonna out jump the guy and catch it. And that'll be a first down.
Okay, so he's Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, not as he's lean though.
Yeah.
Like he was
always. I was just purely going off of option system, but we'll bomb it to the guy who's really good every once in a while.
So I'm sure that there's probably like,
right, exactly.
Yeah, no, I remember. There's probably like at least like one more from Spruce Creek that we're forgetting, and we're gonna get like nasty emails like, "How could you forget?" But anyway, so what else? Like, what are some other like Olympic stuff that we need to look forward to? Like, what's going on? Like, are there any other storylines that are out there that we need to like pay attention to?
Outside of the Olympic Village almost burning down. The Rio mayor responding to criticisms of the Olympic Village by the Australian committee by saying, and I quote, "We could just
saying what?"
Well, the Australian Olympic Committee chairman said that the Olympic Village, Athlete Village, was not inhabitable as of a month ago, which is a bad sign, considering I think people are living in it now. But in response to the criticism of the athletic village, the mayor of Rio said we should just get him a bunch of kangaroos.
Wait, what? Wait, that's what?
Yeah, in response to criticism by Australia, the Rio mayor said, "Oh, we'll just put a bunch of kangaroos, and that'll help them."
Okay, even if that was funny, it was not funny. One, two, it's like, does that just mean that like they'll feel more at home? What is he thinking when he says like that'll make them feel more at home? Is that what he's thinking?
Right.
Yeah, like I just assume that all Australian athletes cuddle with a kangaroo before they go to sleep. So I think that
what would Americans cuddle with, like firearms and barbecue, or?
Brandon, that's hilarious because I was about to say, like, you could see, like, oh yeah, we'll make the Americans feel right at home with guns and burgers.
Guns, burgers, and apple pie.
Right. Yeah.
True.
The Russians will have vodka. It will not have HGH in it.
It's deer antler vodka.
See, saying deer antler vodka just sounds like you like crushed up an antler and distilled it.
I mean, that sounds basically what deer antler spray sounds like. We just aerated that.
Right.
We pressurized it in an aerosol can.
So I think we fully expressed the fact that we don't know anything about the Olympics, but what we read on the internet.
No. All right. So wrapping this up, I've sort of alluded to the fact that college football is probably going to like leak its way into a lot of our discourse here, just because we're college football fans.
We haven't talked about college football at all yet.
No, we didn't spend 15 minutes talking about Steve Spurrier this time. Not at all.
Right. We'll just change the title of the podcast when we post it. But I guess as just a closing little poll, again, looking down the copious list of sports you have here, pick either just generically like a school that stereotypically would be, I guess, either funny or really good at something, or a specific athlete in college football. I don't know. Maybe this could go poorly, but
I mean, the Stanford band, as far as like, I think they would do great at something like, I don't know.
Synchronized swimming.
Yes.
Oh my God. The least level of reverence or respect for that sport, and yet would still be really good.
I mean, I'd like to see they would do something so vile that they would get kicked out. It's like they do like warm-ups and like somebody's walking like, no, get out of here. Just.
You literally brought a kitchen sink with you. That's not acceptable.
Well, yeah, never mind. Never mind. I can't go there. Family podcast.
I would love to see, like, I don't know. I would love to see like a team from Michigan have to do beach volleyball. Like not only for the University of Michigan, not just from the state.
Jim Harbaugh goes hard at the beach volleyball. I just guarantee. That's
the kind of the funny thing about Jim Harbaugh.
Top Gun. I'm just picturing Top Gun, Tom Cruise style. Like you could picture Jim Harbaugh and his khakis, shirtless and bronzed, with a super short net so that he can spike it.
See, I'm thinking more Saved by the Bell. Jim Harbaugh would probably be better at it than current Jim Harbaugh, but.
Well, because like part of the reason that I said that, which is it's funny that you said Jim Harbaugh, because I think I only just realized how Jim Harbaugh flies in the face of why I was going to say that is, Michigan has this very like, Michigan men, we do things a certain way, we're from the north, we're, whatever. And beach volleyball just seems like kind of like looking down the list of summer sports, that's kind of the antithesis of that. And yet, despite all the Michigan man rhetoric, you've got a head coach who's a psychomaniac who I could definitely see just playing a shirtless game of beach volleyball.
What I actually would love to see that would be hysterical is like every time I see Brett Bielema, I think this guy would kill it at shot put. Like Bert would be absolutely incredible at shot put.
Yep.
I think like at some point like Bert's gonna come out shirtless to coach a game. Just like I want him to come out just like he's got popped up like butt heavy walks out, like shirt's untucked, unbuttoned, and just walks out and just says, counter middle, whole game, let them roll. Like, that's it. Just,
Can someone give me a sandwich?
yeah. Okay, there was never a man more perfectly built for Arkansas football than Brett Bielema. That man is perfect for it. Like,
Good old Bert.
yeah, it's just well, did y'all hear the story? One final thing. Did you guys hear the story about how Bert met his wife in Vegas?
I've heard allusions to this, and I'm not sure that I've actually ever heard it. I've heard people make fun of the story.
All right, we'll post it. I'll find the article and post it to Twitter. I can't do it justice. So, needless to say,
tease that.
Yeah,
we'll get Steve from Paducah to do the research on it. We'll be fine.
Yeah. So no, but it's he meets his wife is gorgeous, and it's just and Bert's he's got a little bit of a pudge, which makes for me I'm very hopeful because of Bert. Bert is an icon in that sense, but it's just he's gambling a bunch in Vegas and meets this gorgeous woman, and somehow they hit it off in Vegas. So I will leave it at that, and I'll point you to the article. But anyway,
so life can be a movie sometimes.
It's true. It's true. That's it certainly can. So, well, cool.
All right.
Well, cool. That's a good cap to put on it. We don't know anything about planning, so I don't think we know what we're going to be doing next time. So
tune in to find out.
Tune in to find out. I don't know. Maybe we'll record a teaser when we figure out what it is, or we'll just throw something up on the Twitter account if this falls on anyone's ears. Yes. So, man, the Olympics. I'm excited. I hope they go well. I think that's about the best I can say.
Yeah. No, it's America. We're going to dominate. We got to.
Go USA.
USA. USA.
All right.